Good morning, everyone. This is William Mosley. Also go by Will Mosley. So different, so new. If you're new around here, I create films, podcasts, articles, social media content about the creative process. I typically try to create something that I feel is, hits on points, hits on story, hits on all that stuff. And then I try to decompose that for you, show you the behind the scenes, and then also deep dive into those films. I also do podcasts like this where I just am talking about a random topic and we just enjoy it. So today's topic is actually about social media and more specifically TikTok. And you may be wondering what the hell is TikTok, or you may have heard it and you're like, what in the world? I'm going to explain quite a bit of that after the break. This film is sponsored by none other, try to say that like 3 times, 4 times fast, none other than myself. I try to advocate for self-education, teaching yourself how to do something. But in today's fast world, today's fast economy, I recognize that there are times when it's just better to let the pro, let the expert do it for you. So if you need a promotional film, an e-commerce store, a redesign, a logo, a brand, brochures, flyers, or a whole trade show conference kit, I specialize in all of those. It comes with being a creative director. So, drop me a quote at heywillmosley, mosley.com. Again, that's heywillmosley, mosley.com. And we'll get started on the weekend. All right, let's continue with our show. Welcome back to the show. So TikTok. TikTok is just another social media app that focuses on, as they say, making every second count. And their tagline is actually pretty catchy because it says what exactly what it is. It's real short videos. And it might just sound like you might just kind of slide off your tongue like, okay, whatever. But what they're catching at, or what they're getting at, is real, as in just real life people. Short, obviously, short videos. You know what I mean? So it's catchy. When they first came out, and I think they've been out for a long time, as far as like they just renamed their business or got bought out. I'm not sure what happened really there, but that doesn't matter. The premise is that it's 15-second videos, kind of like Vine, which we all know died. I never jumped on the Vine bandwagon, but I think I would have today. But they've opened up. They've done something quite amazing that I'm it's the reason why I'm going over there. Not going over, but I'm also joining that community. Instead of just 15-second videos, hey, you can now do 60-second videos. A big improvement, right? It's so remarkable. I don't know. It's simple, and everyone else is already doing that. But it means that the format, the things that I'm doing, I can actually start making use of them on that platform. Let me explain. Just like the podcast I put out about my creative process, like I create long form, or I wouldn't say long form films. I create films that are about 10 to 15 minutes. I then break those down into 10 to 15 1-minute clips, and then I kind of post those 1-minute clips to Instagram, which automatically goes to Facebook, which also goes to Tumblr, and then I also post those to Twitter, which happens to have a 1-minute, limity thingy that you can use. I don't know if it's exactly 1 minute, but I digress. And so it all of a sudden makes sense. Like, okay, 1 minute TikTok, I can make this happen. Because I was originally going to try to format them down to like 15 seconds, which just is so short. Like, I get the 15-second. I get like, there's a niche for that. Like, if you're showing real quick something, and you're flashing by, and I recognize that commercials are 15 seconds, and you can share a lot in 15 seconds. But it's hard to give that much context within 15 seconds. But with 1 minute, 1 minute it seems like it's short, but it's enough to give you a good bit of information. So I can appreciate that. Now, I had a huge problem after like discovering, okay, they do 60 seconds or 1 minute or whatever. I can make my original content I can hit this on here. TikTok is also a vertical based platform, a vertical video based platform, and it makes sense. I have nothing against vertical videos. I actually was doing vertical videos for about 2 months, and I really appreciated the format. And I went back to horizontal just because I wanted to get back in tune and groove with like the films that I was making previous. But there's a lot that can be said for vertical films. Now, I had two options. Well, I had several options that I could do. Either I could format my whole film that I've already done in vertical and try to format it for vertical, which takes a lot of time. Like, if you want to try to get it right, it takes a lot of time. It's hard to do, especially if it's not shot for it being vertical. Or I could figure out a way to crop them as squares, which squares seem to be working for me. Like, my films are originally for like a 16:9 horizontal, but even when they're cropped out to squares, you get most of the information. It's all there because I typically keep myself centered in the frame, so everything seems to flow well. So, and then the last one that I figured out where I could actually make a vertical video was like playing the video, like screen recording the video, playing back on my timeline on a vertical screen, which I actually have. And I've gotten some love. I posted one clip doing that, and there was some love there. There was some goodness there. But that also was a lot of extra work. Having to screen record it, find a quiet setting, then export it, chop it up again. Like, I wanted to find the solution that would, yield the most results for the least amount of distribution work. And I found it. I guess I happenstanced upon it. So what happens, and this is, if you take anything away from this, just take this away, because I think it'll help you transition into TikTok if you're interested into that without like any fuss of formatting and everything else. So whenever you upload a post to Instagram, I think there's some default setting that you can set to save to your phone. I think I clicked that once upon a long time ago, or it does it automatically. I don't know. I can't remember anymore. But it's been annoying for me for a long time that like because I airdrop all my videos to my phone and then upload them to my Instagram, like Instagram saving an additional post actually doesn't make any sense. Like saving an additional video on my phone, because I already have the video on my phone. But what they actually do, which I didn't notice until just recently, is they don't save your original video, they save a square, the cropped version of it, to your phone, which actually is perfect. Because what happens if you try to upload your film to TikTok, TikTok doesn't do the whole square thing that Instagram does. It's like, hey, you gave me a horizontal video, a 16:9 video, I'm going to upload it just like that, and there's going to be a lot of black space, but you're still going to you still can't rotate it on the screen. Like if you turn your phone, it's not going to rotate. So it's really, really tiny. The other option to that is actually rotating your film on TikTok. And so that means that everyone that watches your films, they have to like rotate their film or rotate their phone every time, like every minute, which just it makes sense if it's on YouTube and you're watching for like 10 minutes, okay, one time, but like doing that continuously seems annoying. I wasn't going to do that to the peeps. So with the exported film that Instagram gives you for every single post you do, if you pop into TikTok and upload that exact same one, it's automatically in a square. It's not, perfect edge to edge vertical, but it is definitely way better than the horizontal version. And it looks good, especially if you're putting creativity into these films. So I'm super happy to say that I'm on TikTok officially. I'm committed. I think that and let's kind of hit on the second part of this after the break. I've mentioned before that I do website redesigns. I'm actually man, if I had to pick one thing that I do extremely well, or that I've been doing for so long that it's just I don't know. Websites, they're something that just are, I can make them happen and snap it all together because I've been doing it for so long. I know all the ins and outs. So if you have a website that looks horrible, that's just like, ugh, you're not proud of it, that you need redesign, fast, all that stuff, I can make that happen for you. HeyWillMosley.com. HeyWillMosley, MOSLEY.com. Get your quote now. All right, welcome back to the show. The second half of this is all about why to actually use TikTok. We talked about how to upload, and I guess that's kind of backwards. I probably should have led with why. But why should you even use TikTok? Isn't it for Generation Zs, or isn't it for those that are 13 to 20? Like, isn't it for comedy and skits and stuff like that? All those are true. Yes, yeah, and yeah. All right. And you're like, okay, well, how does my business, how do I fit within this realm? Like, it's for kids. Okay, think before you're so harsh and before you think kids, right? Think about when you were 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. You were a smart person. Like, you understood quite a bit about the world, and the main thing I feel like when I was 15, 16, I already knew what I wanted to do for pretty much most of my life, or I was trying to figure out way more information about certain topics. So I feel like I've found a good delta on TikTok where there are people that are doing like the skits and the workouts and the bakery stuff, and that's cool. That stuff's on Instagram too, and that stuff's on Facebook. It's all there. I feel like I can also, for anyone that's interested in like filmmaking, creating films, and they're trying to understand how to get started or how to how to work on a timeline, how to kind of do all that stuff, I feel like I can be that niche. I feel like I can help with that. And because I'm already doing that, because I'm creating films, I'm talking about them, and then I'm also showing like my timelines and how I'm editing and what I wouldn't do and should do and did do and liked about all this stuff, I feel like just like my 1 minutes that are on Instagram, I feel like they can help just as much for those younger kids that are trying to understand how to make films. And let me tell you, like, they understand so much. It's so crazy. So I'm actually excited to be on TikTok and helping supply like value to younger generations, which is cool. Dope. So, anything else to share about uh, social media in general? So, I take this from like Gary Vee stuff like that, but it's just like the reason why it matters to kind of get on new platforms, not maybe not too soon, but like early, is because the attention is still there, and then you have way more, way more opportunity for organic reach when it's there. Like when you're adding content to a platform and they're early in the stages of each thing, you're more likely to kind of pop up and people to discover you. On like YouTube and stuff like that, it's much harder because it's so saturated with so much content and a lot of good content, to be fair, that it's hard to make that breakthrough. I noticed that like I'll get a couple likes on YouTube and then I'll get like 30 or 40 likes on Instagram for something, and then like this new platform for TikTok, like all of a sudden it shows like how many people are actually watching your thing and hearting it, and the engagement is ridiculous because there's not so much other stuff on there right now. So it's a good opportunity to kind of jump on and see what it's about and understand. So if you haven't already, I recommend creating a TikTok account and uploading 1-minute videos. Maybe not 15-second videos, but 1-minute videos. It's dope. Alright, I hope you guys have a great, wonderful, enjoyable day, your walk, your drive, your work, all that stuff. I hope everything goes amazing for you. I'm going to go ahead and turn some jams on. Alright, till next time, I'm Will Mosley. I create films, podcasts, written articles, and just social media about the creative process. Find out more information on my Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Hey Will Mosley, anywhere at heywillmosley.com for my website. Bye.